Hi, I'm Noel. This is Antonia from Boxtail Soup Theatre Company. This is Boxtail's Cube. First of all, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed these videos or you'd like to give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment if you've got any questions, possibly even subscribe, that would all be great. This week we are just briefly going to talk about the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. The reason being that completely unexpectedly, we are going to perform there again this year. In 2020, the Fringe Festival was cancelled for the first time ever. So we were disappointed, as everybody was, because we've been performing there since 2013 as Boxtail Soup.
And then you've been performing there since you were about 16 years old?
I've been to every festival since I was 16. So for me, it really was a fixture of my year, and it was very, very strange for it not to happen. We did go up to Edinburgh for a few days, in fact, just to sort of have a little pilgrimage and
yeah, it just felt too weird not to go.
And it is an absolutely beautiful city. I mean, as fantastic as the festival is, if you've not been to Edinburgh at any time of the year, it's a beautiful city.
I think it's my favourite city so far that I've seen.
So this year, we were fully prepared for it not really to go ahead again, and it looked as though the majority of stuff that was going to happen, because the Festival Fringe Society, they really wanted something to happen, so they had started to put together stuff where shows were going online, and it looked like it was going to be a fairly limited affair with a lot of stuff being performed online. Didn't really seem as though it was going to be much in-person theatre, and we just thought, maybe we'll have to wait again and go back when the festival returns in full force, hopefully next year.
However, that hasn't happened, and our venue, Underbelly, who we've been performing with for the last good few years now, I think the first time we performed with them was 2016, I think, and they contacted us and said, any chance you could bring a show. And we had a debate about it because we just thought, is this absolutely insane? With kind of only a few weeks to go, could we do it? And we have always said, since we started the company, that one of the things we wanted to achieve was the idea that we would have these very self-contained shows that initially would all come out of a kind of trunk or whatever, and that you'd basically be able to pick them up at any time. If somebody said, I want a show, you'd be able to, and they want it like in 2 days' time, you'd be able to say, I've got a show, I will bring that to you. So it was a sort of test of our mettle, really, over that claim that we could pick up any show at any time and take it anywhere. Yeah. And so we thought, well, come on, we really should put our money where our mouth is and say yes to this, not least because we love the festival and it's an incredibly important part of our life as a theatre company. And that's really why we thought we wanted to talk about it today.
Yeah, and there was a sense in which, you think fortune favours the brave. And if we don't go and do the show, then we'll never know what might have happened.
But we appreciate that for some people, for a lot of people, it's just not physically possible. It wouldn't be possible for them to say the show that they'd lovingly put together with a cast of even 3, let's say, for going there last year, that they wouldn't just be able to go, come on everybody, let's get together and go up this year. We are incredibly fortunate in that we are together all the time. We're a married couple. We do only rely on each other, therefore, to be able to go and take a show. And so that we do understand also that is a huge luxury.
Oh, absolutely.
And therefore there was very much a part of that we kind of almost felt like a duty to represent theatre, because we are fortunate in that way. We can go. We sort of felt like, well, we kind of should. It's sort of, we should support this festival that has supported us so much for, however many years it's been now.
Yeah, absolutely. It has definitely been a challenge because we found out 16 days before the first performance.
Yeah, so we're performing on the 23rd and 24th of August.
So in order to do that, even with a show that we deliberately only suggested shows that we were comfortable, that we knew well enough that we would be able to do that, to be able to get them ready so quickly. So the show that we're performing, I don't know whether you mentioned
I don't know if I've even said no.
The show that we're performing is Northanger Abbey, which is the first show we ever created. Consequently, that means it's It's very compact. It doesn't have any set or any stuff like that. It's very, 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 very compact. And it also means that it's one that we've done a lot of performances of.
Yes.
We've performed it at the Fringe Festival.
Twice, in fact, already.
We've taken it to various other festivals. We've taken it overseas, and it was a very popular show. So we've done it a lot, and it's very familiar to us. So in some ways, it's the easiest one for us just to be able to pick up quickly and return to after a few rehearsals. However, obviously there are a lot of other challenges involved because it's quite a large venue and you're talking about marketing the show, getting everything going, getting all the posters going, letting people know about it, all the other silly logistical things that go into it, like transport and accommodation, all that stuff. All of that has got to be sorted out within a very short space of time.
So we have managed to do some of those things so far. We've still got to kind of try and get the people to know that we are doing a show there, and we have no idea how many people will be there, but whoever you are, even if you're one of only a handful of people, we will happily do you the best show we can, because that is very much the spirit in which we started the company and very much the spirit in which we would always like to do performances. So we picked up, this is the last Fringe guide that we had, so this was 2019's Fringe guide, and obviously it's expansive. I mean, there's so many shows.
We just wanted to talk a little bit as well, in fact, about why the Fringe is important to us, especially for anybody who's not been there and isn't familiar with what the Fringe Festival is, what it looks like, what it represents. We just wanted to talk for a moment about what it means and why it's so important. If you look at this brochure, you can see it is an absolute beast of a brochure. And I think in 2019, I might get this figure slightly wrong, but there was somewhere between 3,500 and 4,000 shows. So that's a lot of stuff to get through. That includes comedy, dance, music, theatre, art, all kinds of different things. This year is obviously going to be very different because it's a very, very reduced programme by comparison. But nevertheless, for some people, you might look at that and think, and I think the Edinburgh Festival Fringe is the largest arts festival on the planet. And at the same time, you've also got the book festival happening, you've got the international festival happening, you've got the theatre festival happening, you've got all these different things going on, which actually means that for that month of August, it becomes the kind of epicentre of the arts world in a lot of ways.
And it's an incredibly unique experience as a performer, and while you're there, you can also be a punter, so you can go and watch. We go there and are inspired every single year that we go by watching all sorts of things that you would never normally have the chance to go to, not least because shows come from all over the world to the Edinburgh Fringe. And for us as a theatre company to go and do a show there for a full month, so for us as a touring theatre company particularly, to have a full month run in the same venue every day is a luxury that we don't normally have, and it gives us a hugely beneficial opportunity to really bed the show in. So we usually take a new show and we then can do it for however many, was it 25 shows?
Yeah, it's usually around that.
And you get to know the show so well, it changes slightly every day with the different audiences that you get, and it is unique, I think, in that way, particularly if you are a touring company who then will go to one venue for even just one performance and then move off to the next one.
Yeah, just being able to do the show so many times in one venue and really get used to it and really get a feel for it is in itself, if there were nothing else, if there were no other benefits to it, that in itself is of huge, huge value to us.
And then another thing is that we, over the years, having been going now since 2013, we have built a kind of family of audience, of fans, if you like, of the shows who will come and are incredibly loyal. So will come every year to see whatever we've got, which is amazing. And
absolutely,
we are just it's humbling, and we're so grateful. And we like to go and say hello to everyone after the show as well. So you get to have a quick chat and you'll see the same faces coming back year after year, and it's just unbelievably gratifying when you hear somebody say, oh, as soon as we get the Fringe guide, we look for you and we book your show. And I think when somebody first said that to us, I was like, that's what this is about. It's amazing. And not only that, but you then also see those people around the country when you go touring. So it is it's a way to build your kind of family of supporters, is a better word, who are incredibly loyal and will then help you keep the company alive, I suppose.
And it's also a way to connect with those audiences in a way that you wouldn't get a chance to do anywhere else. Because people come back and because people see a lot of different theatre and see a lot of different stuff there, you really get feedback from them, and you get to know what's been successful, what people have enjoyed, what people liked about one show as compared to another, and you get a kind of ongoing communication with them.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who will go and sit and have a coffee with who, we only ever see in Edinburgh, and it's just absolutely, it's magic. And I think that kind of was highlighted actually last year when it didn't happen and when we couldn't go, and the outpouring of support then from people who see us in Edinburgh was incredible. So it is a very unique thing.
Quite apart from all of that, as you sort of touched on before, apart from our performance side of it and being able to do our shows, it's also incredibly useful and valuable and rewarding to be somewhere where you can see so much different work. Not only because obviously you've got this huge wealth of work from all around the world, all kinds of things, shows that you would never normally be able to see because they just wouldn't have the chance to come over here. Shows from all over the place, performers of all different kinds, and all of that work is right there. You can go and see it. It's on your doorstep for the whole of the month, which is amazing. You also get to connect with all of those different industry professionals. So we've made friends with performers from literally all around the world. Australia, America, Israel, all across Europe. You name it. There are performers from all over the place. You can talk to them about the kind of work that they're doing. You can discuss the differences and the conditions with the way that they're performing and creating things. And you're also able to connect with industry professionals that you might not be able to do normally, because if you're a small company, if you're a fringe company, getting reviewers in or getting people who book for certain festivals in isn't always easy, because you don't always have shows available when they're available, or you're not always performing in the right place. So to be able to say for this month, yes, all of these reviewers, all of these bookers, all of these promoters are going to be here. You can write to them, you can invite them to your show. You're doing it every day in the same place for a month. You can have a conversation with them about what they need from you or what you'd need in order to take your show to the next level. It's in that sense, it's kind of like a trade fair as well. And all of those things together, along with the fantastic atmosphere and the kind of the month-long kind of celebration of the arts, the party feel to the whole thing, just make it an event like no other.
So it's safe to say we're fans of the Edinburgh Fringe. It's like an inspiration feast, and we definitely missed it hugely last year. So we are thrilled. It does feel slightly in a weird, funny kind of way. I feel like, by taking a bit of a chance, a massive chance really this year, I hope, we want to try and do a little bit to help keep the festival alive, and show willing really to, because we can. Like I said, there's plenty of people for whom they wouldn't have the luxury to be able to just say,
we're fortunate enough to be able to have the means and the opportunity to go and perform there.
So really we thought, why not then? It would only be a kind of fear of people not turning up that would stop us from going. So we're going to be there, we're going to have fun, and if you are our one audience member at the time, we will do a great show for you.
On that note, just to remind you again, I think you mentioned it at the beginning, we are performing on the 23rd and 24th of August at 3 p.m, Underbelly, George Square. If you're going, or if you know anyone who's going, please spread the word, let them know. We'd love to see people there.
Yes, sorry, that was probably a little bit of a ramble, but we wanted to get across our love for this amazing festival. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, have you already said this? I feel like you might have done.
Doesn't hurt.
Like, subscribe, leave us a comment, questions, anything like that. We'd love to hear from you. And we will see you next time.